Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry ZATIMA review. This is season 2, episode 12, entitled Risky Business. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff if you choose to. If not, just sit back, relax, and we gonna get right into this thing. Now episode 12 picks up where episode 11 left off, and that is at the club. So after Fatima performs, her and Paul leaves. They see, she see Zach, don't acknowledge him, and she leaves. Zach walked his happy ass over to Angela. Now, mind you, Zach done called this woman a B about 2-3 times the night before. Now he coming over there asking her, Fatima at your house? She was like, I don't know, Zach. It's Fatima at your house. She is. Let's go. So Zach leaves. So Zach and Tony head over to Angela's house, and we find out that Belinda and Nate are in a sexual relationship. I said, what the hell? But I'm gonna pause and come back to them because I really don't. Like I said, like I said in episode 11 review, I cannot stand the supporting cast on this show. None of them are likable. None of them are. You're not rooting for them. You don't even want them to be Zach or Fatima's friends. It's just horrible decision after horrible decision. They are not likable in my opinion. So I don't like talking about them. So moving right on along, Fatima and Paul are at Angela's house. And Fatima was trying to have sex with him. I said, Fatima, girl, it's literally the next day, okay? It's literally the next day. You trying to have sex with Paul. She can't go through with it. She can't go through with it. Now, the man that played Paul, I forget his real name. But that man is fine as hell to me. He's fine as hell. Nice looking guy. He's an amazing actor. And I'm like, why did you ruin this for me, Tyler Perry? I love this man aura, even how he appeared when he first stepped on our screen for Zatima. When that man told Fatima, she was like, I'll just be using you. Use me up. He said, use me up. He said, you could even call me his name if you want to. I said, wait a minute. No, she can't. You are not that desperate for coochie, Paul. You're not. You can get it from anybody you want to, I'm sure. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Because, baby, you fine. You ain't struggling for sex. You just told this woman that she can call you this man's name if she wanted to. You want to have sex with Fatima that bad? You don't. I'm like, Tyler, why you make these men come? And it was very reminiscent to Aaron. You have a certain type of man come on this show. He is nice. He's presenting all these levels of maturity, and yet you make them. What man finna tell her? I'm not a man, but I can't imagine a man telling a woman that you can call him another man's name during sex, unless you just into that, but not because, I just want you so bad. Like, I don't know, y'all. That is something that I can't even imagine, but I don't want to get into it. So, but one thing that stuck out in this scene is that it was so refreshing to know that Paul was paying such close attention to Fatima at dinner. He knew that she smoked a little bit. He knew all these intimate things that they discussed. And she was like, oh, you were really listening. And I'm like, yeah, he was, which was reminiscent of Karen and Aaron. It's almost like the same thing. When Karen told Zach in season 1, she was like, when I'm talking, I know that he hears me. I know that he's listening. He's looking at me. He's in tune with me. And I'm like, it's the same thing. I'm like, Tyler, you would definitely reuse a storyline like you can't come up with a new one. I love you, Mr. Perry, but damn it, you will do that in a heartbeat. So Angela comes home and Sam is with her, and she's telling Paul that he got to go because Zach is on his way. And Fatima was like, he ain't got to go nowhere. So he was like, well, she was like, this is my house. I ain't trying to have nothing get tore up, because Zach totaled his house up in episode 11, breaking stuff. It was a lot. But Paul and his friend, Paul was like, well, if he's that upset, we'll just wait. So when Zach and Tony pulls up, Sam and Paul are outside. It wasn't no beef. Nobody was trying to fight nobody. Tony was acting stupid. like he doing karate or something. I'm like, you just so damn ignorant. You just so ignorant. Paul wasn't trying to fight Zach. Zach wasn't trying to fight Paul. Zach was just really trying to have a conversation with Fatima. So he comes in the house, which I wouldn't have let Zach come into my house at all. Not after you disrespected me by calling me out my name, sir. Zach disrespect the if one thing Zach gonna do when he's mad and there a woman and there's women around, they gonna get called a bitch and they gonna get called a hoe multiple times. It don't matter who they are. That's what Zach gonna do. I just love it how some people try to downplay the fact that Zach called these women bitches like it's their name. He called Fatima, was this in season 1? I can't remember if it was in season 1 or season 2 when he met her mom. But he called Fatima and her mom a bitch as they walked out the house. Then it's a lot. And I can't stand that Tyler writes Zach to say that. Because he's like the only man on this show other than Nate that just really call women that. And it's just so hella disrespectful. But anyway, he comes in the house. He's like, Fatima, I just want to talk to you. Fatima runs and tells Angela to tell Zach that she's going to bed. I'm like, girl, face this man. And if you don't have anything to say, just tell him I ain't got nothing to say to you. You need to get the hell out. What you running for? You so big and bad, but you can't face Zach, girl. Bye. I just would have told him, you need to leave. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you right now. I just want to talk to you. Fatima, I love you. Fatima did. I didn't. Go to bed, Zach. Go, in the words of Katherine Jackson, go to bed, because right now we don't want to hear from you. Not after you said all that mess to Fatima the night before. We not trying to. We got smoke for you, cuz you know what I'm saying. Go away. And Angela just let him come in there, and I just said I don't understand. These are the things I don't understand. These are the things that when people talk about Tyler Perry and writing for black women, this scene would not have happened like that. And you could have had the drama with a woman telling him, "Oh no, sir." And then when he put his hand in Angela's face and she ain't do nothing. And then after a while, she kind of like put his hand down or whatever. I'm like, nah, it's not realistic. It's not believable, at least to me and the women that I hang with. So the next day, Zach goes back to his office to do nothing. And so Bryce comes in and he asks Bryce, does he feel he need to go to therapy? And Bryce was hemming and hawing again, because like I've stated, Bryce just does not want to get his ass beat. He know that Zach got smoke for him. Zach done already hit him once. He brought up something with Zach's mom. Zach went ballistic on him. Bryce is trying to stay out of the fire. He's trying to stay out of harm's way. So of course he's gonna hem and haw. And he was like, I think everybody has something that they need to work out. And he asked Zach, well, what do you feel? Zach was like, well, everybody say I need therapy, but I feel like I'm fine. And then Bryce says, well, maybe everybody else is wrong. Bryce, you don't believe that. And it's the fact that Zach is even asking these questions. Zach knows that he needs therapy. Zach has said he was open to therapy, but the way that Fatima went about it, he wasn't, fond of that. And I totally get it. But I'm like, sir, you need therapy. You know that you need to get yourself together because you are spiraling. And I feel like Zach has been spiraling and making excuses for himself since we were introduced to him on episode 1 of Sisters. And I just feel like you have the funds now, you have the tools, and not only that, you have the resources to get yourself together. You do need help, sir. Like, you really do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to be in a relationship and you have a child that is yours, and you're trying to, you want to be in his life and things of that nature, you should want to be healthy for him. If not for yourself, for this child. You have so much childhood trauma and you blame your mom for stuff, and now you have a child. You would think that if for nothing else, you would want to make sure that you're healthy mentally to raise your child or to help in the raising of your child. So we go to Zach, and he goes to see his mama. So in a way, going to see his mom, we see him with Connie. And Connie made a statement, and I'm wondering about this, if it's going to come out later on in the season. But when Zach was talking to Connie, she made the statement that, she was like, please tell me you was coming to see me. Like, I know you couldn't do it last night. It was almost alluded to the fact that Zach tried to have sex with her, but he couldn't get an erection. That's what I got from it. It wasn't really detailed, but based on what she said, that's what I got from the whole situation. And so, Connie is over the top character. And I really wanted to like Connie, but it's like Connie just do too much. And then Zach tells Connie, like, you know, you're the reason I smile when I come around here. And, you know, he has like some type of camaraderie with Connie. I don't know the depth of their relationship, but it does seem like that Connie was a person and is a person that Zach feels comfortable with. Even though he told her, like, yeah, they'll never, you know, it may be in another lifetime, things could happen for them, but, you know, not now. And I just feel like, what is it about this woman that, you know, make you feel safe, that makes you feel like you can trust her in a way? And this goes back to one of the things I strongly dislike about the character of Zach. Zach will throw a woman under the bus in a heartbeat. He told Fatima that him and Connie had sex, and we know that that was a lie. He did not have sex with Connie. However, he did not mind making Fatima believe that he did. He's also done this to Karen several times when it comes to Fatima saying that he had sex with her, about how and he actually didn't, saying that Karen was the person that started kissing on him and that's how they had sex, which was a lie. So I'm like, you are quick to lie on these women like it's nothing. That is a problem. Like, that is legit a problem, and you're willing to hurt the woman that you love by bringing up other women. And for me, not only is that hurtful towards Fatima, but it's a trigger because you know the situation within. And I just feel like when people try to intentionally hurt you like that, I can't rock with you. It's one thing to hurt my feelings and, you know, to say something that, you know, that's going to hurt me. But it is another thing to bring up something that, you know, I struggle with, or that, you know, is a trigger for me. And Zach doesn't mind doing that when it comes to his relationship with Fatima. And I'm sure he did it with Karen and any other woman that he's been with. So he goes down there and he talks to his mom and his brother, who didn't want to talk to him unless he was giving them money. And he was like, yo, I got to pay you to talk to you. So his mom was like, I'll talk to you, but you got to take me to the store to get some cigarettes. And so they get ready to leave. And he was telling his brother, like, you might as well come along too. And he was like, man, I ain't going with you. That was the end of that scene. Now, the therapist, I can't think of his name right now, but he called Fatima earlier that day and wanted her to come to his office at noon. It's something about Zach. You're going to want to know what it is. And this is my thing. I don't give a damn if it's about Zach. Zach and I are not together anymore. So whatever issues or dealings you got for Zach, you need to deal with that yourself. And then my thing is, this has to be the worst therapist in the world. Where is the confidentiality at, sir? It's something about Zach. So you're bringing me here under false pretense. Like, that therapist is just damn unethical. Okay, he is an unethical practicing therapist, because I ain't never ever seen nothing like this in my life. It's a mess. It is a mess. So Fatima said, you know, that she would be there. So Paul comes to the law firm, and him and Fatima was going to invite each other, I think, to lunch or something like that. Angela knows that Fatima is pretty much using Paul. She really don't like him. But she asked, you're like, do you even like him? I mean, I said, okay, you don't, but all right. But when he walks away out of the law firm, you about to break your damn neck because you can't get over how fine he is. But I'm just like, but why are you doing this? Like, my thing is, if you're going to have Paul on the show, I know that Fatima and Zach just kind of ended their situation, but it's like, hey, this is what it is. Like, what are you doing with him? Like, that's the part I don't understand. Like, if you go, because my whole thing is, if you mad and you big and you can F whatever, you do whatever you want to do, why you didn't do it? I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm not going to have any problem if Fatima have sex with Paul. I don't care. Since you probably deserve a break today, go ahead and do it. That's how I feel. I would not even be mad if Fatima end up having sex with Paul, which I'm sure she's probably not, but I wouldn't have no problem with it. But they make plans like go out to eat or whatever. And so when Fatima shows up to the therapist's office, she goes to the back. Zach is there with his mom and his brother. I said, Tyler, kiss my ass. You know damn well. First of all, Jeremiah looks like he got that crackhead scratch and the moving back and forth. The mom looks a hot mess that needs to be in somebody's hospital, not in no therapy session. I said, how the hell did this happen? From the brother not wanting to go with you, from the mama just wanting you to take her to the store to get some cigarettes. How did y'all end up here? And these people being quiet, they not showing they behind, they being perfect human beings while they wait for Fatima to. I said, Tyler Perry. I'm gonna leave that alone, but that didn't make no sense to me. But that's how the episode ended. But I just want to mention this, even though I cannot stand his ass, I probably dislike him more than anybody on the show of Sisters and ZATIMA combined. Nate. So like I said in the review for episode 11, we find out that Nate and Belinda are having a sexual relationship. So it was a scene where they were outside the barbershop and Zach was talking to him. And he was like, they was asking about Belinda because they found out that, Zach had sex with Belinda a while ago. And, he was just trying to make sure everything was okay if he could hit it. But already been having sex with this woman. And Zach was like, dude, you married. And he was like, I've been trying to call Lori. I've texted her. I even wrote her a letter. She ripped it up. So I'm just doing me right now. And I'm like, dude, you been doing you. You have been doing you. Lori divorced Nate because Nate is a horrible ass excuse of a husband. He's a horrible ass excuse of a father. He's an absentee father at that. Those are the type of dudes you stop giving chance after chance to. And I'm one of those people, when it comes to someone marriage, I don't ever tell somebody to leave their marriage unless somebody is physically harming them and they don't feel safe. But when it gets to a point to where that this person, whether it's the husband or the wife, is making an intentional decision not to be what they have signed up for, not to be a parent, not to be a healthy spouse. They just gonna do what they want to do. Because baby, you could be single, we can get divorced, but you're not gonna be single and married to me. You're not gonna act like a single person while you're married to me. That we're not gonna do. And so when I see them, I'm like, why are you friends with this person? That I don't understand. The fact that Zach is actually friends with Nate says a lot to me, because Nate is a horrible excuse. I don't even understand how men can consider another person or another man a friend when they don't take care of their family, when they don't take care of their kids. I could not be friends with a woman who knows she got kids out there and she like, girl, they help with them kids. I don't do enough for them. They dead. Oh, how am I supposed to be friends with you? I can't be friends with anybody like that. Intentionally, consciously knowing that that's the type of mother that they are. Because if you're that type of mother, I don't expect you to be a good friend to me. You can't. It's impossible. So Nate, I just had to point that out because I believe it's going to be important as the story goes on. And this really goes to show how trash ass of an individual Nate really is, to have a whole wife, to have multiple children that you do nothing for. And now you have started a sexual relationship with Belinda. Now, because I had somebody in my not comments, but in my DM was saying how they believe that that Nate and Belinda played a role in Zach and Fatima breaking up. Okay, you're definitely able to feel the way that you feel. I don't agree with that. But I do want us to come together as a consensus to say, can't nobody break up Zach and Fatima but Zach and Fatima. Nobody can cause issues in their relationship unless they allow it to. Belinda and Nate had no dealings in the breaking up of Zach and Fatima. So we're not going to put the blame on nobody else but those two characters that has everything to do with what goes on within their relationship. We love to blame other people. It's like, no, it's them. It ain't nobody else. Now, I don't like Belinda and Nate either, but I'm not going to put the blame on them for something that they did not do. That's just how I feel about that. And I think that's all that happened in episode 12. I'm not going to go, which I never do scene by scene when I review ZATIMA. I just hit the highlights of what happened. And I want to say that's all that happened in this episode that I can remember that I feel is important to mention. Angela, I'm gonna leave that alone. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.